Hey, what's up, guys and gals? My name is Rick 9G. Thank you so much for joining me in this live stream. It has certainly been a while, but I'm happy to be on here with all of you. We can talk some TV shows. We can talk some Lucy, Sanford and Son, whatever you guys and gals really want to talk about. Get yourselves out of everything that's going on out there in the world and get yourselves into this type of, talk. And I have a really interesting question in my opinion, regarding these shows, which we can talk about. It can be the main question that kind of drives the whole, drives the whole live stream. And that is, when does a show stop being classic? Is it a certain year? Is it because of the writers? Is it because a network does something to a show that makes it a classic? Now it's not a classic. Let me know what you think. That's really, really, really interesting to me. I am going to actually put on a show on this side that we can talk about. Let me know in the comments where you guys and gals are checking in from. I would love to know. Oh, nice. I see pumpkins on here. Oop. There we go. I'll get in trouble if I play that. I can't do that. I got to move that thing over here. All right. And then I have to do this. So let me know where people are coming in from. Let's see here. Hey, Jared, the first one to come into the live stream. Nice to see we're in the chat at least. And Chris from New York. Nice. Look at that. Hesperia, California. Repping for California State. That is awesome. Buffalo, New York. I was there. Did you know that? We might have talked about that. Yes, I was in Buffalo. That is awesome. Great place to be. Let me see. Why can't I do this? Boscawen, New Hampshire. Wow, very, very cool. Hold on, Lucy. From famous Napa Valley. I have been there. Nice. Iowa checking in. Awesome. From Boston. I haven't been that far east yet. That is. Maybe soon. Maybe soon. Tiffany, thank you for coming to the live stream. New subby here. Awesome. High five. Say hi to Tiffany and all the new subs. Any new subscribers here, I would love to hear, as well as anyone who is a long time supporter, subscriber. It's awesome. Let's see. Missouri. Nice. New York. Washington. Ventura. Not that far. That's awesome. That is really cool. Well, thank you, Miguel. I appreciate that. I love your support. From Gulf Mills. Is that how you say it? Pennsylvania? Very nice. From Texas. Wow. First Texan on here. Georgia. Massachusetts. Utah. Awesome. Dallas Cowboy fans. Huge fan from Dallas, Texas. Yes. Number one I Love Lucy fan. Awesome. That's cool. That's cool. Hungry. Hey, you're the Gilligan's Island guy. Who says I'm the Gilligan's Island guy? What's that? Did you watch the interview with Dave Sundstrom? Did you guys and gals watch that? If you didn't, I would suggest watch it after this, after the live stream. He does pretty cool classic, his take on classic cool TV shows and sitcoms. So I definitely recommend that. Definitely recommend that video. Rio Grande, Texas. New from Virginia. Very, very cool. Awesome. From Maine. Just subscribe from Burlington. I can't think today. Birmingham, Alabama. Love the Sanford and Son. Well, awesome, Willie. Thank you. You're awesome. From New Jersey. Very, very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, the channel has been, your guys' support has been so overwhelming, so great, so inspiring and motivating to me to get into other shows and stuff, but also the idea of being able to getting to new shows. But that was something, I may get into that because I think that's something in the interview that I want to expand upon. That let's just say we had a talk about variety of shows on here and what do we cover. And I always want to keep this channel under my identity, because then if I lose my identity and my passion, then that's going to show in the channel. And I don't want that. I think number one, my passions and my interests have to come through, because that's what drew you all in here in the first place. All these shows are shows that I love, shows that I watch fairly regularly or have watched before and now picking up again. So it's nothing new. Not to say that there's anything bad with anything new, because you can enjoy new things or new classic shows, if that makes sense. And what Dave does, I think it's absolutely amazing because he runs the gamut of the whole thing. He pulls from the whole library of classic shows, which is awesome. But I love to dive deep. I don't even want to call it my specialty, but that's my thing. My thing is spotting small things. My thing is getting into the real nitty gritty of something to the point where it's like, wow, that detail. Yes, that detail. I've always been detail oriented. And so I've always come in rather than really brought out. So I hope that answers a lot of that. And I'm really happy to keep doing that. Ontario, Canada. Nice. We have some Canada representation. Awesome. Harvey, see you on the upload when I can follow along with closed captions. Well, I appreciate that. I know Google does that sometimes. It's not a perfect system. So that's the only drawback. But yeah, I always submit it in for closed captioning. I think a lot of that is automatic. And sometimes people submit it like they do it manually, which is really cool. So that is really, really great. Oh, definitely not quitting. Why would I quit? I don't like quitting. I don't like that word. No, no, no. Definitely not at all. I know, right? 75,000 subscribers. We're not there yet, but we're so close. I don't know how close we are. I haven't seen the counter. I was looking yesterday night. We're at like 74 and a half, 74.5. And I have no idea. I don't know if we're still there or, but that's amazing. And I remember when I was like really down there in the few thousands, which is still big, don't get me wrong. But when I was like, oh my gosh, 70,000. I barely reached like 2 when I was at that point. And I remember 2,000 for me was like mind blowing, right? Because it was double 1,000. That was a big deal. It's just weird as you get larger the channel. It just becomes like a thing, right? And so anyway, a lot of YouTube to think about. So Taisha, you saw me when I had 15,000 subscribers. That's crazy. That's insane. So I appreciate that. Pumpkin 74,700. Wow. That is awesome. Almost at 75, which is crazy. It's what, 3/4 of 100K. Wow, that's crazy. Thank you all. Thank you all for that. That's really awesome. Really amazing. Such great support. So yeah. So things come as they come. I have I stopped writing my notebook, although I still think I should write in my notebook. And I still have ideas. These are, the thing is they're kind of washed out. These are all ideas for videos. And each one sometimes has different categories in that. So just to let you know, those are just things that I haven't done that I want to touch upon. And there's still a lot more in here. So there's so much to cover. And I'm like, should I do something special at 100,000? Absolutely. I think I want to do 2 things. It's not confirmed, but I definitely want to do 2 things. First thing, I really want to tell you guys and gals the origins of Rick9G. Some people think that's my real name. It's not. It's kind of like Red Fox. That was not his real name. John Sanford was his real name. And yeah, I want to tell you the origins of it. There's a real meaning to it. It goes back years and years and years, and it defines me in my life right now and hopefully in the future. So it's a lot more impactful than you may think. So yes. Super Blubber. That's the name, Super Blubber. Have you seen the Music Box steps? I have seen them. I haven't gone to them. But yeah, keep an eye out. Ooh, moving the mouse here. Oh, it's cold up there in San Fran. It was kind of chilly here in Southern California. Probably not as much as over there, and so it wasn't really windy. Now the wind's kind of picking up a little bit. I'm always checking weather because of flight stuff, but yeah. Yes. So hi from Ireland. Wow, Anne-Marie, that you're quite a bit away from the over the pond, right? Can you please translate changing the boy's wardrobe? Okay, I remember that I Love Lucy episode where Ricky is giving out in the nightclub. He's giving out. Do you mean I'm trying to think where he's dressed nicely and they're taking the photos? Is that what you mean? I'm not sure exactly the scene. Love classic TV. Well, I am really big into classic TV, if you guys and gals know. Yes. That's awesome. There is a way that I want to kind of want to. Oh, let me see. There is something I want to do because I want to lower one volume on here and keep the other one like that. So let's see if that works. Can you all still hear me? Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, because I wanted to play this without this showing, even if I have the sound for an episode on and hit copyright. Like, it's kind of crazy. A lot of stuff we have to deal with in terms of that, but we're good. We're good. Hey, Gumchew Animates. Hey, I just dropped in to say I love your channel. I love your support. Thank you so much, Gumchew. You recently got into I Love Lucy. Thumbs up. That's my thumbs up right there. And I think I'm near the end of the show. Just recently found out everything that happened. Yeah, don't let that. It kind of did affect me when I knew what happened to them and their marriage and stuff. But don't let it affect the quality of the show and the stories that we have. Remember that. Remember that. It's just like any author who may be flawed and writes an amazing book that you love to read or really touches your heart, right? So that's just my advice. There's also the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, if you haven't seen that. And 191 episodes, I think, total, including the comedy hour. So that's a lot of rewatchability there. A lot of rewatchability. Oh, random commentator. Oh, that's a nice name. That's really cool. Red Fox was from St. Louis. You're correct. St. Louis, my hometown, and he lived on Enright Street. Very cool. Yeah, so the majority of my videos are narration videos talking about certain things, right? That, like, I can't go to a location. When I do go to locations, so a location video is like a special video, if that makes sense. It's like, I don't know. It's like a TV show. Most TV shows are in their living room or whatever. And then sometimes on the TV show, they go on vacation. And then those are special episodes. That's kind of what I do. It's just not that it's harder, but it's just a different style. And so I will do more on location videos. Trust me, I have them in mind. I already have two. One that I've never mentioned before, and another one I said I was going to go do, which I am going to go do, and do a gigantic giveaway. So any I Love Lucy big fans, stay tuned for the next couple I Love Lucy videos, because they're going to be, well, I'm just going to show you. What do you want me to show you? Well, let me know in the comments. Do you want me to show you something about I Love Lucy? Big giveaway. Should I show you or should I make it a surprise? Let me know down. Type it in. Tap it in. I'll keep it ready in case you guys do want to see it. Because I do want to show this to people. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you want me to show you? I think a lot of you will be excited and surprised to see. Okay. It's kind of heavy. I have to do a little bit of weights to pick it up. All right. Okay, ready? All right. Seems like everyone wants to see it. Okay, ready? I can't even lift it up. Okay. Yeah, look at this. Still sealed. This includes every single I Love Lucy episode. Whoa. Every single I Love Lucy episode ever. Including the comedy hour, okay? The hour-long episodes, season 1 through 9, because the comedy hour was it was 7, 8, and 9, and 13 episodes, because it was throughout a couple years. Giving this away in one video to a lucky winner, close to $50 value. And it's not the value, but I'm trying to say I want to pay back. And just letting you know, I literally have a shelf just dedicated for giveaway DVDs. Okay. I guess I'll spoil. Look, this is the Sanford and Son that's going right now. This is a Future Munsters, Three Stooges. These are all sealed. Another I Love Lucy one. I have Gilligan's Island, Batman. Yeah, I literally like a whole shelf down here. And so, just so you guys and gals know, it means a lot to me to be able to give back. So, yes, that's a very important thing for me, to be able to do that, to give back, just as a way to thank you, to thank you. And I wish I could literally send everyone one. That would be impossible, obviously, but I feel like that's what the videos do. The videos touch everyone who wants to see them. And then if you want an extra dose of literally freeness, all you got to do is support the channel. Pledge your support. Because with your support, it helps me keep going. So anyway, Three Stooges, yeah. So yeah, all that stuff's coming. Everything is in its own pace. You know, everything is in its own pace. I have different scheduling for different type of videos and things like that. So yeah, that's awesome. So let me go back to the comments. Wow. Pumpkin, where did I get them? I buy them. I buy them new. I have probably over $250 worth of, and that's not that. The only reason I say that, I've never like gone into that in detail about pricing. I just want to relate to you guys how much like I invest in the channel and how much I invest in you guys, and I appreciate that. So anyway, enough of that. Gilligan's Island was a real island, so you should be able to find out 100%. Mummy TV, great question. What do you think about the colorized version of the Christmas show versus the black and white version? I've seen both. I actually like the black and white one, but the color one is endearing to me, meaning like when I see it, there's just certain things that I get when I see it. Certain little, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just the idea of wow, like certain little treasures, certain little enjoyment from it. It's like if I would eat something without seasoning, I could enjoy it, but with the seasoning, I enjoy it in another way. So yeah. Yeah, so suggestions are always appreciated. I'm the type of guy though, if I'm gonna like premiere a show, I need to see a lot of episodes of it and stuff. So a lot of work goes into it. A lot of work. It's not just like, okay, just pop in a 5-minute video. So as long as you guys know that, I think that's good. Do you have any TV show props? I don't. I'm actually not a collector of memorabilia and items. I'm not into that. I know people are, but I don't want to give anything away. But I'm looking to getting, okay, so this is kind of crazy, so keep this in mind. I'm really looking into possibly getting memorabilia from shows / connections to people I won't mention that I've made videos about that I can give away. I'm not even kidding. I'm talking about, I may have spoiled the surprise, but I want to keep you guys in suspense just a little bit. Literally items that were from these individuals, real items with like, what do you call it? It's not statement of facts, but it's certificates of authenticity, and give those away for free. Yeah. The future endeavors, guys and gals. Terry, you are not too late. As long as you're in the live stream, you are right on time. Very, very cool. Ooh, wow, this is a great song. I don't think I've ever gotten this question. Of all your shows, what's your favorite theme song? Ooh. Okay, it's shows that I haven't. I'm looking at my my drink here. What's my favorite theme song? I really love like the Full House type 80s, 90s, Family Matters, Full House, like that. I don't know. I just love it. Perfect Strangers. Like those are my 3/4 favorite theme songs. I think I Love Lucy's most iconic. I mean, it doesn't even need words and people know what that is. Sanford and Son, no words and everyone knows what that is, right? Like it's pretty incredible. Hey, Chad Baxter coming in with the first donation for the live stream. Thank you so much, Chad. You are amazing. I missed you in the last couple chats. Well, I haven't done chat in a while, meaning our live stream. But it's been a while, Chad. So I appreciate it. Thank you for the support as always. 70,000 subs, you say. Keep it up. Keep being hopeful. I do appreciate that. Always keep hopeful. That's a main staple of my channel. It's going to stick around. I'm going to keep motivating you guys, inspire you guys by not just by what I'm doing, but what these people, because in my opinion, these shows, watching these shows, you get inspired. You get inspired to stay hopeful. Now, in my opinion, this may seem like a sad story, but it's actually, in my opinion, a beautiful story. When Lucy and Desi were having marital issues, Lucy said that she looked to the episodes when they were having problems off screen. They would go action, and she would love some of the scripts because she's like, we would get lovey-dovey on camera, and that would give me hope for us like making up, and things would get better. And so she held out hope, and even though their marriage didn't continue, their friendship continued for life. And I want to say that the show contributed to that in a positive way. If that makes sense. Yes, Addams Family. How can I forget that, Karen? Amazing theme song. That's probably more iconic than I Love Lucy, to be honest, because I Love Lucy is like a song, where Addams Family, yes, it's a song, but it's literally like this. It's like three, 4 notes, which is crazy. Married with Children. Yeah, that's a little more of a risque shows. I'm not opposed to covering shows like that. The reason why I just think about it is because I think that's just down the line. That's not something that I want to do anytime soon. Like shows in the 80s, I think I want to get to that point. I think, guys and gals, once we get to 100,000 subscribers, that's going to be a breaking point, but in a good way, or a threshold, a really positive threshold, where it's going to open for me mentally a lot of doors for other things, other possible channels. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, other channels related to what I do, but maybe more different categories, if that makes sense. But yeah, so okay. And just to let you know, I try to read as many comments as possible. A way to guarantee that is through one of the super chats. So I appreciate you guys with that. But if not, you can keep asking and I'll try to get back to it. I try to get to as many as possible. There's 70, 80 people here usually at one time. So obviously it's hard to get to every single person. Terry Eplin Clean. Is it Clean or? I don't think it's Klein. I think it's Clean. With a $4.99, $5 donation. Thank you so much. So glad you found my channel. Well, I'm so glad you are here and that you're supporting. Do appreciate it so much. You really like, sorry, I'm like, I really like what you do. I love your I Love Lucy videos. What you do, Andy Griffith. You know, so as a kid, so I'll say this because a lot of people talk about Andy Griffith, and I have to do the show justice. I love Don Knotts. I'm a big Three's Companies fan. I have Don Knotts DVDs with like 7 of his movies that I love. Absolutely love those movies. I love the genius of Andy Griffith. I think he was a genius. I just think that his show is not exactly my style, but it's iconic. I love Ronnie Howard. I love his feature work, obviously. I think it's Paul. He's a cute little boy, really good talent. I mean, amazing director, amazing actor. So I would cover it in a limited sense if I ever would, and I think I do want to. And what I mean limited sense, I would probably never do like a, but I never say never, right? But I wouldn't do like an episode by episode, but I would more cover it as like a show in its entirety on a very broad basis, if that makes sense, instead of diving deep. Lucy, I dive deep. Gilligan's Island, dive deep. Hogan's, I'll dive deep. Maybe not as much Andy, if that makes sense, answering your question. So great question. I appreciate that. All right, 1 second here. All right. Thoughts on the recent passing of Jeannette Dubois, Willona from Good Times. I've seen a couple episodes of Good Times, but I'm not really well known. I don't really know the show that well, and the individual, of course, condolences to the passing, but I honestly don't know the individual well. So I don't know everything about classic shows. I'm learning as you guys learn. Oh yeah, so you guys have been saying something about a plaque, and you're absolutely correct. At 100,000, you receive a silver plaque and a silver play button, and it's like engraved by YouTube, like officially they send it to you. It's an award, which is incredible. Obviously, we're working toward that award for the show. Like, to me, if I would tell you guys the story of my channel, why it started, you will know and understand how valuable that'll be to me. It's not just me making videos. There's a lot of meaning behind it, if that makes sense. So that'd be great. Yeah, they give you awards at 100,000, a million, and then 10 million. And then there's one at 15 million. So I think it's 100,000 is silver, gold is a million, 10 million is a diamond play button. So yeah, they're all play buttons and they're different, carats. And then the one at 15 million is ruby, I think, or yeah, I think it's ruby. So they're not really rubies, but I mean, it's like the Oscars, it's not completely gold plated, but it is It's not completely gold solid. You guys know what I mean. Larry Potter, great question. You just cover comedies and sitcoms? Not necessarily. No, I cover Twilight Zone, not as extensively because I think the audience that I have hasn't really found me yet. But I love Twilight Zone. I've seen every episode countless times, and I do want to dive into certain episodes, certain elements of episodes. So that's definitely not comedic stuff. There are some kind of funny-ish, quirky episodes, but yeah. So not just sitcoms, but I really love sitcoms. So yeah. Hey, Alec, nice to see you. It's been a while. Thank you for catching me in the live chat, and thanks as always. I still remember what you sent me. Means so much. It's hanging up there on the shelf. Means a lot. I can show it to you. Let me grab it. Let me grab it. This is something that's really special to me. I'll show it to you in just a second. Hey, Greg, thank you so much. So you say, before I go, thank you for making videos on classic shows. I really enjoy watching. Well, that means a lot. Thank you. All right, Pumpkin, have a good one. Night Gallery. Oh, that's awesome. Well, Alec, look at this. Still have it. Means a lot to me. Very, very cool. A big story behind this. So, wow. I still see it, and it still touches me when I see it. So, it means a lot. Oh, Robert Carly. Yeah, I know what you mean. I do have PayPal if you want to talk about that, or I can definitely I don't know if you have Facebook. You can message me on there, and I could always send you the link, or the email if that is your preferred choice, which I would appreciate. That's awesome. You know, I usually put all that back into giveaways and things, and so I appreciate that. Same thing with Patreon. I put that into like DVDs and stuff so that, you know, the channel, it's like kind of a cycle. You know, everything's kind of a cycle. All right, Elijah. I'm sorry, Alyssa. What is wrong with me? You are young. I like that you guys see me as young. How did you? Oh man, one day if I do this when I'm like 60 or something, people will not say you are young. So I'll take it now. How did you get into classics? Well, I started watching I Love Lucy. That's the first classic thing I really watched at age 3. I was watching cartoons, and I saw this zany lady. It was like a 30-second cartoon on this zany lady with starch on her dress, and she was like this. And I was like, that's like a cartoon. That's funny. You know, visually, it was really appealing. The gigantic bread coming out. I love that physical, visual comedy. Even as a kid, like it drew me. Like right now, she's being brought into the Bastille. And then the translation episode. And I could rewatch this stuff forever. Yeah, I saw that, and that caught my eye, and then that was just a floodgate to Marx Brothers and all these things. So very, very cool. Lori Bell just found your channel, Rick. Thank you so much. First live chat with you. Feel free to ask any questions, Lori. And Brian Redmond, big shout out to you and your support, being such a supporter for so long. Oh, Alec, absolutely. I'm glad you're on here, because I did want to show you eventually. I still have it. It's right up there. I see it every day, pretty much of my life. So, and that's a good thing. It, again, you guys give me inspiration with the things that you send and the support and the messages. So I really love it. Karen Steck, love your channel, can't get enough. That's what I love to hear. That's what I want you guys to have. So with almost 1,300 videos, means a lot. Green Acres, could you believe I've never seen the show? But not opposed to like talking about it, definitely. Love Ghost and Mr. Chicken. I saw it once, and maybe I was a little underwhelmed. Maybe I was expecting too much. I loved, out of all those that I watched of his, The Shakiest Gun in the West. That to me was the best. Absolutely, so much. Yeah, the boy Luther. Well, thank you, Maurice. Means a lot. Oh, The Flying Nun. I have heard The Flying Nun. It's a very popular show, even with like my family, like the older family members that I have, like my uncle and stuff. He's The Flying Nun. He's from Argentina. And so it's like, it's a very well-known show. So absolutely, I do want to take a look. That's one that I'm intrigued about. A flying nun? Come on. That's very visually interesting. And I love that, right? Oh, thank you so much, Brian means a lot. Russell Johnson Robert not only was a super nice guy, but he was a hero. I made a video on that, and a legit hero, not just like, oh, he's my hero. No, like he was the man. What's my favorite Twilight Zone episode? Oh, you can't do that to me, Martin. There's so many good episodes. I'm not a cliche guy. Like I'm not. Oh, there's a monkey on the wing, or I don't know. There's so many. I really love the one where Robert Redford visits the woman. I think it's beautiful. I almost shed a tear at the end of it. And I'm not like, it's very rare for shows or anything to do that to me. I laugh, but not like in that way. And that is one that gets me almost every time. So, but I love so many. So yeah. If you were to play one of your favorite characters, who would it be and why? I would love to play Don Knotts. I would really have to look at him like the way I imitate is I look almost obsessively and then I imitate little things until I feel I got it. I think I could do Ricky Ricardo, maybe a little bit. Oh my God, listen to the name of this movie. So how about Don Knotts' Hot Lead, Cold Feet? That's a movie, right? Or no, I've never heard that. It sounds really awesome. Laurel and Hardy is amazing. I've only done one video on theirs, but more is coming. I have some cool stuff planned, so keep an eye on that. Believe me, I would do something different because I had an idea to do something with Laurel and Hardy that I've done before with another series, but I'm gonna do something different. So yeah, I don't want to give away all my secrets. I can't. Am I drinking moonshine? Yeah. Oh yeah, Don Knotts is the best. Can I do Gilligan? Oh, I think I could do Gilligan easily because I'm really clumsy, and so I wouldn't have to act that much. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I'm amazed because Sally Field, right? Yeah, she. I don't know why I keep remembering her from Mrs. Doubtfire, and I feel like that's just not that long ago. And then to feel that she's in like a classic show, looking almost the same, is very surprising. And so I'm like, So it's kind of crazy. Silent Snow, Secret Snow. Wow, from Night Gallery. I'll have to check that out. Everyone's telling me about Night Gallery. So can people who are big into Night Gallery know about it and Twilight Zone? Would I like it if I'm a big Twilight Zone fan, love pretty much every episode. There's a couple that I don't like. Okay, very few. There's probably less than 10 episodes I don't like. Okay, out of the 100, almost 200 episodes, right? Would I like Night Gallery? Let me know. Or is there like a point in it where it's not that great? Let me know. Want to know. Ooh, Little Boy That Powers. That's a fun episode. It's like terrifying, but it's fun. Like I think that's the best. Like I want to be that little boy and wish people into the fields. That is awesome. Scott Baker, hey, Mr. Scott. You say, hey, Mr. Rick. I say, hey, Mr. Scott. Little House on the Prairie. I'm not sure, Gregory. I can't say that I've seen an episode, so it's not like I've given it a chance. The thing is, it just seems a little foreign to me in terms of, like, I don't know. I like shows that can feel relatable. I've always felt I was funny, like, be funny, silly, physically. I would do that as a kid normally. Like and so like I would relate to like Lucy, her being silly, her faces, and I would imitate her face and Harpo Marx, I would do the Harpo Marx face and stuff. And so I would relate to that. And so you can see how like Little House on the Prairie, right? There's not much of that. And so shows that are immediately like that, I'm like, ooh. So that's usually my connection with a lot of these shows. So in case you guys want to know how I like get into these, and you would see Gilligan's Island, like Hogan's Heroes, Sergeant Carter, bumbling Schultz, right? Not that I look like Schultz, but his mannerisms and the way he acts. So yeah, Maurice Lopez. We'll see. I guess it's a stereotype, and I don't mean that in a bad way, that old shows need to be liked by older people. No, absolutely not. We got to break that down. And I hear that all the time, and it doesn't bother me, but I definitely want to let people know that no, there are different types of people in different venues who you would not even imagine. My best friend, I just found out like 2 months ago, my best friend all the way from high school. I knew his father, I knew his mother, I went to his house, like all this. His father's favorite show was Gilligan's Island. And that still surprises me because I never knew anything about that. And the thing is, I never talked about my love for these sitcoms. I was kind of embarrassed when I was younger because, you know, when we're young, we're crazy. And then when I found out, I'm like, I don't want to say his name. I was almost going to say his name. But I was like, buddy, you know, my friend, your dad likes, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what? Like, it's crazy how many people like these shows, and a lot of young people like or have seen these shows and enjoy them, and they just won't tell you. Like, it won't be a thing. I was taking my flight test, and I was waiting out in the car for it to start, and I was next to a pickup truck, and it was blasting something. I was like, I know what this is. It was Martin Lawrence's show from the 90s. And I was like, who in the world's watching the show? I looked, the guy's like 20. He's doing landscaping, but he's in his car eating his lunch. He was watching Martin in his car, like on the DVD player, laughing his butt off, like right next to me with sound like all the way up. And I'm like, I would never guess that guy would watch Martin. So it gives you a little bit of an idea how cool that is. So yeah, I love telling you guys stories like that. All right, so that episode is done. I love having episodes like playing in the background while we talk, while we chat. Which one? This one. Lucy Meets the Queen. McHale's Navy, I've never seen, but definitely want to look at it because it's war-ish and fictitious. Oh my gosh. So here's the thing. It's funny. There's always trolls on YouTube. It's part of YouTube. But I don't know where in the world that came from. It was, I thought, like when I was doing the narration, I thought I was saying fictional. And then I heard and I said it like 4 times, fictitional. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, I was a teacher. I didn't speak like that. What is going on, right? And then finally I was like, you know what? I am absolutely gonna make a joke about it because that's what I like to do. I like to make fun of myself. Like, I like to joke around. I think it's definitely funny to do, to be able to make fun of yourself, to be able to, you know, we all make mistakes and stuff. And it's funny. It's just some of the comments that people do. It's like, I know they're trying to do that to get attention. And it's kind of funny sometimes. But yeah, it's just part of that. So I'm like, yep, fictitious. And it's funny because they think it will like get me upset or something. I'm like, fictitious. I said it. Not a big deal. One person was like, is English your first language? It was funny. They were like, fictitious. Is English your first language? Didn't you pay attention in high school? I was like, well, I was actually a high school teacher. I have a master's degree, like all this stuff, right? And it's just called a mistake. And I know English, Spanish, I also know a bit of sign language and Latin. So I wonder how many languages that person knew. But it's just funny. It's just funny. It's funny. Oh my gosh, this Queen episode, Lucy Meets the Queen. I love it. We never see the Queen. We never even see like her back. We never even see like something on the side. It's just like an episode that kind of comes out of nowhere. But I love the episode. It is a fun episode in my opinion. Have you ever get to meet, well, I definitely didn't meet her. I would love to. Angela Cartwright of Sound of Music and Lost in Space. So Angela Cartwright, the way I know her is from I Love Lucy. She was the little girl in the Danny episode, the Make Room for Danny episode on I Love Lucy. And they were good friends, obviously, Danny Thomas and Lucy. I didn't know that Danny Thomas was, well, first of all, he was born Jewish, but he became a Roman Catholic. And then he was a super supporter of like sick children, and he started the St. Jude Foundation, which is like one of the biggest hospital chains for like children in the United States. And I was like, wow, this guy is just so inspirational. And the fact that, you know, he was on Lucy and stuff to me was just pretty amazing. I'm just gonna make sure I just want to type something. Okay. Anyway, Lucy has the craziest hats. Now she has one of those weird hats like this. I'm trying to see what happened to the chat. Let's see here. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's like different settings on here and stuff. I don't know. The chat's gone on a bit of a hiatus right now. So anyway, let's see. So a few things that happened since the last time I was talking to you guys. We definitely hit 70,000 by the last live stream. So that was really awesome. So thankful for that. Started getting into Sanford and Son, which is really, really cool. What else? Oh yeah, David Sundstrom, and we did that amazing. I loved it. It was so enjoyable to do that. I want to do more collaborations, obviously, but it was just fun. It was just fun in general. It was something that I really enjoyed, and it's good to be able to see each other's supporters, see each other's channels, and have that, hey, you come here, you come here. It's like, you could watch golf and then also watch baseball. There's nothing saying you can't watch both and enjoy both. And that's what I say. That's what this channel should be about. It's about enjoyment, having fun. And if you find other channels like that, of course, go watch them, go enjoy them. I mean, to me, that's some of the best things that you can do, So, oh my gosh. So this scene where Lucy and Ethel are at Buckingham Palace, and they have the guard there, and he just doesn't move, is amazing. She's trying to make him laugh, doesn't do anything to him, doesn't even bug him one bit. That guy, I don't know how he kept a straight face. They must have just auditioned him based on, hey, can you actually keep a straight face? Anyway, it's awesome. Wow, almost 80 people in here at this time live. So thank you all for coming in. What was I going to say? If you haven't left a thumbs up, I do appreciate a thumbs up. A lot of you have left a thumbs up already, so that means a lot. Very, very cool. Absolutely. Let me just see here. Something's happening here. Okay. So that's awesome. Look at that. So do you guys remember that episode, the British one, where the guy comes up to her and it starts to say, yes, madam, blah, 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 and she's like, I'm sorry, you're speaking too quickly. And then the guy has to slow down what he's saying because he's speaking so quickly. Oh my gosh, so funny. Okay, I'm trying to go back. Okay, sorry. So all of a sudden, boom, all of the chat spread. So if it's not like I've been ignoring people, literally, I'm trying to catch up after I said, hey, everybody, because the chat fizzled for a little bit. Okay, no connection to the entertainment world. I'm trying to go through and get as many as I can. Hey, Paul, thank you. Welcome to the live stream. St. Jude, yep, exactly, David. Scott, eventually I get to Seinfeld. That's something for future endeavor, I think. I want to stay classic. I would say the shows that I cover now are classic. Stamp them with classic. And then Seinfeld, anything 80s and 90s is a modern classic. That's how I like to categorize them. That's how I see them because they're a little more modern. My cutoff is 1980. I think 1980 to 2000 is one era. And then I think like everything like 1900s, when TV started. So the 40s, late 40s, all the way to 80s is one era. And then there's another era. But yeah, that's just how I do it. MASH, never a show that I got into or really interested in, which is crazy because I'm into the war theme. So I don't know, possibly. See, lazy homebody, you're watching me in the Giants game. There you go. Look at that. Multitasking and doing it very talented, may I say. All right, now I'm going back. Frasier, never seen Frasier. Never seen Brady Bunch, never seen Partridge Family, which is crazy because I'm a big Gilligan's Island fan and same creator, Sherwood Schwartz. Never watched Columbo. I've heard of good things of the Rockford Files, Columbo. I group those all into like a similar. That's more like crime, police, drama slash stuff. I've never gotten into that. The most I've gotten into the crime / drama stuff is Dragnet, but we're going back, right? We're going back to the 60s versus the 80s. And then Adam 12 and Emergency. So great shows, all three of them. I used to watch a lot of that. When I used to not want to do my homework at like 5 o'clock, because I think when I got home, I used to watch Lucy at 4 p.m., 4 to 5, and then at 5 they came other shows like Emergent. I think Adam 12 was first, and then Emergency, but in another hour, so that was 6. And by 6, like the sun went down. I should have started my homework, all that stuff. Absolutely nerd status right here. Let me see here. Oh, Marin says, Marin, is that how you say it? You are awesome, Rick. I've been listening to your YouTube channel for years. You're always upbeat, always informative, always positive, informative, and your intelligence, wow, makes and just shines through. Thank you for all you do. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Awesome. Very, very cool. Oh, eyes bugging me. Oh, it's still on Adam 12. Yeah, a lot of these shows are still on, especially in syndication. Some they can't show, some, they shorten them, things like that. Yeah. Yep. Our kids like shouting outside. For Duty and Humanity. That is awesome. Great comment, Jeff. Why does he cover the Three Stooges? For Duty and Humanity. The Stooges is probably, it's this funny, the Stooges. I love them with all my heart. They're the top of my list almost. Like those guys are timeless. Timeless. Like I can't say that anymore. Timeless. Shemp and Curly. Okay. Oh my gosh. Should I get some people who may get upset? But I'm like, Curly Joe? Who's that? Oops. No. Not a huge fan of his. I do appreciate what he did though after the tragedy. So that is very, I do take my hat off to him in that sense. I just don't think he was up to par of the other two boys, but that's just me. Oh yeah. Anyway, that takes the most work, the Stooges, and it gets the least amount of views on the channel. I will still keep doing them because I love those guys, but obviously I want to do what people want to see more of, and so that's kind of the hard balance act. But absolutely more Stooges coming up. Shemp, my favorite, Mo Shemp. That's me, Mo and Shemp. Oh yeah, then there was cartoons. We're not even talking about the cartoons of Flintstones, right? The Scooby-Doo, all that stuff. Oh, so when I meant the tragedy, I meant both tragedies of Curly, and then the tragedies of his death, and then the tragedy of Shemp, which was like from one day to another. It was a sudden heart attack, and they had no choice, but they had to put someone in. And in my opinion, Mo was kind of on, because Mo kind of managed everything, and he was like, what should I do? And his last kind of choice was Curly Joe. He did want him, but I also think there was a bit of desperation there on the part of Mo, and the fact of, we got to keep the show going. We have a contract, and we can't keep using this double for Shemp, so anyway, what are your favorite shows that I currently watch? Now I'm a big watching Sanford and Son, big watching Hogan's Heroes, but I alternate. I watch Lucy almost nightly. I try not to now because it's better to get a good night's sleep if you don't watch a show before. But anyway, John M, what's the meaning of Rick 9G? Well, I said if I get to 100,000 subscribers, that may be, I may make a video just on that, the story of the name, and it's a very meaningful name. So yes. Robert Curly had several strokes probably during the course of his life that slowly deteriorated him throughout his life. He even recovered a little bit, but he never fully recovered. He was even recovered enough to be in one short. There's actually 4 of them in one episode, Hold That Line, and another one, which was like a remake of it with other scenes. And yeah, the first time you saw, first and only time you see 4 Stooges in one shot, which is really, really cool. But yeah. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, absolutely. Absolutely love that as a show. Joe DeRita, I do enjoy. I think he was more Curly-esque than Curly Joe. I wish he would have come after to do the final shorts, but It is what it is. How many DVDs do I own? That's impossible to tell, because if you're talking about boxes, I can visually see boxes, but then there's some I have away in storage too, like movies that I don't really cover and stuff because I don't have room for everything. But I would say hundreds, absolutely hundreds of DVDs. Yes. I love the Little Rascals. I only saw the 90s version movie. Now I know that's not the original, but with my age and stuff, I was never able to see the Little Rascals on TV. I never saw it. It was never playing. And so, there was never really a way to see it for me other than when DVDs came out. And that was kind of later on, and I'd already gotten to other shows. Yeah, it's kind of the long story for that. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. The reason, so some people ask, why not? Of course, I may. The thing is, those aren't shows I'm very familiar with. Beverly Hillbillies, Petticoat Junction, Peyton Place. I've never seen Petticoat Junction or Peyton Place. Beverly Hillbillies, I used to watch as a kid. And as an adult, I watch less and less of it. I heard that, John. I heard that Nina Talbot is alive. And she's still kicking. She's still doing, and she seemed like a very strong woman on the show. And I felt that wasn't just her character. That was her personality that kind of shined through, or would shine through. And, I mean, it's really just interesting to be able to see some of these individuals still around as you get, right. The shows get newer, but yeah. Brian, yeah, you got to put them in storage. I'm with you on that. I do. I have all of the Honeymooners. I guess we can call them episodes, shorts. Yeah, they're not shorts, episodes. Yep, I have them. Oh, Lucy's practicing her curtsy. Her curtsy muscles are going to get sore. Goodness gracious, Lucy. I love Ricky's ties, too. And oh man, something about the show that I just enjoy so much is the color scheme. For being black and white, there's so much contrast between everything. There's nothing that blends in on this show. And that's what I love. Like, there's so many shades of gray. I think that's my point. It's not just literally black and white stuff, which if we would film, like, that's why if you ever film yourself and like you go out to like a barbecue or something with your family and you film it in black and white, it doesn't look that great. It just looks literally black and white, is because a lot of our colors match. We match a lot of stuff and there's not a lot of drastic changes. Look at this chaos back here. And so with shows like I Love Lucy, they purposefully made different shades that in black and white would really contrast. And so, yeah, it's cool. Hey, Paul. Awesome that you're in the first ever live chat for you. That's awesome. British shows. Well, I love Mr. Bean. He's super British. He's one of my favorite British comedians. I think he's genius. I think he's on par with, I would say he's like the British Red Skelton. You know, he's amazing. Great. Just like more modern, obviously. Awesome, Larry. I'm from California. So the question is, Joe asked a really good question. The Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, do you think they really went to Las Vegas in the uranium episode? That's a good question. I haven't done any extensive research on the episode, although I do love it, which I should have done research because it's like an episode I love. It's just there's so little time. I just got to focus on it. But a lot of that was done in the studio, some of the shots. But when they're driving around that's out in the desert, I doubt they actually went to Vegas. They got some shots of like the hotel, the Sands Hotel and stuff, but it's a separate, just like, I don't say company, but it's like this group of cameramen and stuff that go and get certain shots and come back, and they don't have to take the actors there. So, yes. Oh, Taxi is amazing. I love Taxi. Definitely a classic. The thing about Taxi, I think it's funny, but I don't think it's hysterical. I think there are hysterical episodes, but from what I've watched, it's not like as funny as I thought it would be, if that makes sense. I think there's one episode where the Reverend was he was trying to get his driver's license. That's one of the best episodes ever. Oh, there we go, James. I appreciate that. You guys know a lot of the terms. And so again, I'm learning as well. And so I appreciate that. Not stock footage is what I was looking for, but second unit footage. That's exactly like the concept I was looking for. So yeah, so it's like the second unit that goes out and get those shots while they're filming somewhere else, right? In a fake lot or in a fake area. To make it look like something, so they don't actually spend money to travel over there and bring all the equipment over there. They just do it where they know. So Anthony, hello. Oh, Chips, I do have a lot on DVD. I think I have 1 or 2 seasons, and I used to watch it as a kid, so I'm going to definitely get into it more. I would definitely see that, though, as not a classic. That would be a modern classic in my categorization. So something that I probably will cover later on. Hey, Sally, thumbs up to you. 2 thumbs up to you. Jim, yeah, Reverend Jim had amazing moments. Slow down, absolutely. And that's what I mean. Like, when I see funny scenes from Taxi, they always put that one out. And I'm like, is that the only one? So I haven't seen the show all the way through, but I've seen a few seasons. So, yeah. I love really classic movies. Look what I just got. I like to get into this stuff. So I'm a nerd. But yeah, I bought this. It wasn't that expensive. 50 movie collections, and it's like Mad Scientists. And there's everything from 1940. Let's see, 1940, The Devil Bat. There's Embryo, like that's in the 70s. That sounds so creepy. Rock Hudson's in that one. See, that's the stuff that I love, like things that I haven't seen that I really want to get into. And it's all horror stuff, but it's like really old horror. And that's kind of what I like. I'm not into the newer, like more blood. Like this stuff is just more like the ideas and the old makeup and just the acting is what got you, you know? Yeah, so the Atomic Age Vampire, like some of these are really cheesy, but there's really good ones in here as well. And so, yeah, I'm looking just to get into them, just to watch them and see if I enjoy them, see if I enjoy any. Now, the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, I think it is, that's in here. And I started watching it. I didn't finish it. I started watching like first 10 minutes and I had to do something, but I'm going to go back to that. Like stuff like that, I really want to watch. Stuff that moves me. I love film as art as well. And so I really want to be able to like enjoy that as well. Yeah, so Chip started in 77. See, that's what's hard because now, Robert, you obviously know a lot about the show. I don't know how long it lasted. Can you tell me how many seasons it lasted, or anyone for that matter? Because my opinion is, yes, it matters that it started in the 70s. But if it ran more years in the 80s, then I consider it mostly an 80s show. So even the concept was here, then it becomes this show. Because the 70s, 80s, there's a break point. And I think everything changed in the 80s, meaning like things were a lot more harsh on film in the 80s. Things were gritty in the 70s, but they still had that censorship. But in the 80s, it just kind of all came out. And then the 90s, of course, it's still too soon. You can't really consider that a pure classic. So anyway, there is a line that you have to draw, but yeah. So it went on for 5 seasons. So most of the show, so let's see. So you have 77, 78, 79, 80, 81. Is that how it worked out? 82. So it's right on the line. It is really right on the line. Here's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to watch it and really study that and make a determination on that show. Three's Company, I definitely put it in the 70s, even though, right, it did kind of end around the 80s, but it's still more of a 70s show. Like there's no real argument about that. But Chips would be one where it would be a difficult one to call. But yeah, 77. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Chevy 09, 77 to 83. See, it's literally like a teeter-totter. In 1980 is like right here, and it's like right there. So, I mean, I think it could be called either way, but I want to watch the entire series first, see what overall tone I get. Because I would guess that the tone, I watched it here and there in syndication. I would think that the tone would change from like season 1, episode 10 to season 6, right? Episode 15. It has to. And so the overall tone is kind of what you have to categorize it at. But yeah, that's just me and my nerdiness. Yeah, see, is it Terrell Bellinger or T. Bellinger? I would definitely say Cheers is 80s. I would not consider it at all 90s, even though, as you said, it ended. It doesn't matter when it ends. I think it's when the idea, when it starts, and most of the meat is where, in what years. I think that's what's important. Yeah. Alfred Hitchcock series. Which one? Are you talking about Alfred Hitchcock Presents? Is that what you're talking about? Because I love Hitchcock movies. I have Rear Window. I just saw, oh, it was, yeah, I have it somewhere else. I don't have it in this room. All right, guys and gals, so we're gonna end the live stream in about 3 minutes. So any last questions, any last things you want to have, because I'm gonna end the live stream. A few more plans for episodes coming, or videos coming up soon. I'm gonna kind of get back, because when I premiere new shows like Sanford and Son, or when I premiered other stuff like Get Smart, so I definitely want to do more on Get Smart. Definitely do more on what do you call it? On Three's Company. I definitely want to, do more on Lucy and stuff. Because like I said, and I do want to emphasize that in case people tuned in a little later, that variety is great, but I don't want to expand me. I don't want to expand so much that I have 150 shows on. I have one video per show, let's say. I'd rather have 10 solid shows and have a good 10, 15, 20, 30 videos for each show, and then expand. I don't want to be the person who touches upon every show. I want to be the person who touches upon a few niche groups of shows and goes into detail. And once I exhaust those, then I can move out a bit. I Love Lucy. I've gone almost 300 videos, right? And I think there's a lot more gas in that tank, but there's so many more shows. So yeah, keep that in mind. Oh, I appreciate that, Brian. It's always great to connect with you and your great comments on YouTube. I appreciate that, as well as Christopher. Thank you so much. Hopefully you all have a great week. Week. It sounded wrong or incorrect. That's awesome. Next live chat, I usually go with my availability. I usually use them as a way to like check in with you guys, talk little shows. Kind of like an update. I used to do weekly ones, and I kind of shied away from that, kind of moving toward I like to make them a little more rare. And so we go in, we get all the energy out at once instead of spreading it out. So anyway, I do appreciate it, guys and gals. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Don't forget, I'm on Facebook. Links are all in the description. I'm active on Twitter. Let's just say I don't post much on Twitter, but I'm active on Twitter. But Instagram, very much big presence. I have images on there that I never show anywhere else. So just letting you guys know about that. People message me through Facebook, my Facebook page, not my private Facebook account. Private, it's just Rick 9G. You can send me a message there. I try to respond to everyone. There's also merchandise. There's shirts. There's mugs. There's signed, really cool signed images and things that you can get from my website, rick9g.com. You can become a Patreon supporter and get thumbnails before I make videos, all that good stuff. The more people donate, the more they can, the more rewards they get. You can even be named in video. So it's kind of cool. Thank you so much for the support, as always. We'll see you all next time. Don't forget, guys and gals, to stay positive and, most importantly, be hopeful.